What's going on, everybody? It is an emergency episode of the show, the podcast. Stop the presses. The second episode this week, the second day in a row, the first ever Wednesday episode, I think. And we got a cover. We knew we were getting a cover, and I knew that there would be an emergency episode. So for some, this is not breaking news. I said it yesterday. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the person probably nobody guessed, is on the cover of MLB The Show 24. All the Jose Ramirez teases from, during the past calendar year, essentially meaningless. All the Ronald Acuna guesses, just blatantly incorrect. The last-minute Ozzy Albies curveball we thought we were thrown. We swung and missed at it. It is instead Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So in this episode, we're not going to take a ton of time. There's still a lot of information we don't know. We're just kind of going to go over what we do know. Going to react to the cover, good, bad, indifferent. It's important to know, and I'm going to say it up front. A couple things. First of all, the cover doesn't impact the game at all. There are people who overreacted, shockingly, to the cover being Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Super cool, super fun, super good baseball player. I don't understand the hate. Yeah, he's not J-Ram, who we were all kind of pumped for. He's not Acuna, who we all were kind of pumped for. Ultimately, it's just the style of the game. It's just the cover. I saw some folks comparing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to Jazz Chisholm, and I'm like, with all due respect to Jazz, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., light years better career than what Jazz has had. Overall, it's cool. The styling of the cover looks incredible. I'm not upset about it. I'm just not. Am I a little disappointed my predictions were incorrect? Of course I am. But it doesn't matter. It's a cover. And secondly, just remember, we virtually only know what the cover looks like. We got dribs and drabs of information today. We've got so much time before this game still comes out. Don't go making assumptions about the rest of the stuff. We don't know yet. Just be patient. That's what the point of this news cycle is. At this point, we know how MLB The Show and SDS work. They give us news slowly. It's trickle. It's not all at once. So don't worry. We're going to get our stuff. We're going to get our news. I promise it will be fine. Hey everybody, just wanted to take a quick second to update you all on the 2,000 YouTube subscriber giveaway that I promised we'd be doing. Here I am, and here it is. On Friday, February 2nd, that is this upcoming Friday, I am giving away one 2023 Bowman Chrome Mega Box. Go chase that Jackson Holliday, the #1 prospect in all of baseball. You can find all the information you need over on Twitter, but basically all you have to do is retweet and tag a friend, follow me on Twitter, and you get a bonus entry if you're already subscribed on YouTube. I'll also put the link to that Twitter post right in the description, so you don't have to look very far to find it. The past year has been nothing short of incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and best of luck. So now here we go. Let's talk about the reveal, realistically. TheShow.com's homepage has now been updated to include style for MLB The Show 24. No longer has the purple. I'm actually very excited the purple's gone because the purple was really hard to match colors with when I was making thumbnails for YouTube. That's just selfish of me. Pre-order is open now, and the release date is March 19th. Important to know, you don't have to pre-order right now. I actually suggest you don't. I suggest you wait until the collector's edition is revealed on February 6th. That's a week from the standard cover reveal. In all likelihood, it will be a legend cover. And my safe assumption is that it'll be a new legend. But, it doesn't have to be. It could be somebody we already have or a returning legend. It's probably a new legend. That would make sense. Doesn't necessarily have to be. You also technically don't have to pre-order it. You can pre-order it an hour before it drops. That technically still counts as a pre-order. So you don't have to reserve your copy of it. I suggest you pre-order it at the very latest a day before either early release, which we don't know if we're going to have yet. I'm assuming we will. Or standard release March 19th, just to give your system enough time to download it. Just to be safe. So, I have a few things pulled up here on the internet machine that I want to talk about. The first thing is they also dropped a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Topps Now cover card. And it's free in the shop. And holy shit, it's incredible. Max Clutch, Max Vision. That basically already makes him incredible. 117 contact right, max power right, max contact left, 110 power left. Just an insanely good card. He plays first and third. I'll probably DH him. Just a wildly good card. Also super cool. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Sr. are the first father-son combination. Why can't I make this tweet bigger? First father-son combination to be on the cover. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., obviously on 24. Vlad Sr. was on MLB 2006, the year before it transitioned to the show. So kind of cool. I imagine that will lead to some pretty cool content concepts, potentially, in 24. Some kind of cool father-son duo, maybe a father-son captain. That's just a guess. This does, of course, open up the possibility for Vlad Sr. to be on the Legend cover. I would put the likelihood of that at like 25%. And again, the cover doesn't mean anything. I would be a little disappointed, though, if Vlad Sr. was on the cover, just because I want something new. It will probably look great. The Guerreros are awesome ambassadors for baseball. I just kind of want something fresh. That's really all my dislike or distaste would come down to. It wouldn't make or break it for me. None of this stuff makes or breaks it for me. The information is what gets me going. So I've been reading articles just to make sure I didn't miss anything. MLB.com, of course, posted something. Scroll through it again to make sure I didn't miss anything. And here's a part of the reasoning for Vladdy Jr. He's only 24. He won the home run derby, an all-star for 3 straight years, MLB home run co-champion in 21, was an MVP candidate. I mean, the guy is nuts. And he's fun. And that's important. You guys have to remember that the cover star is partly not responsible for marketing the game, because people are going to buy the game anyway, but like, they've got to be ambassadors of the game. Jazz Chisholm loves baseball. An ambassador of the sport. A likable guy. Same for Vladdy Jr. It's really all it comes down to, guys. It's not a big deal. Don't make mountains out of molehills. Not a big deal. The cool thing about the cover reveal was it came during a documentary that SDS produced with a partner company. I forgot what the partner company was called, but shout out to that company. It was called Ride to Reveal, where instead of bringing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. into San Diego, into SDS, they went to him in the Dominican Republic in his hometown with Big Papi. David Ortiz was part of it. It was so cool. So good. Like, part of what I liked a lot about Jazz being on the cover, the opening cinematic was really cool. A lot to do with Jazz, the history of Jazz, where he grew up, where he's from. I like how SDS is really leaning into, and Ramon said this, it's not necessarily me just repeating what he said, but they're leaning into the person and the importance of how baseball helped lift them out of whatever communities they were in and into where they are now. I think that's super dope. I think that's a cool way to show, especially young kids, like, we're all from somewhere, and you can kind of get to wherever you want to get to if you work hard and whatever. So, awesome job on the cinematic, on the documentary. Super, super cool. This PlayStation blog, we're gonna actually, no, we'll do the PlayStation blog. In the PlayStation blog, sorry if there's a little helter-skelter, guys, but there was so much, like, minute information that was spread around a million places that it's kind of hard to summarize all of it. So I'm sure I'm gonna end up missing things. I apologize, but we'll probably cover it at some point over the next several weeks, because it's just impossible to miss that much stuff over that amount of time. If you pre-order the standard edition, you're receiving a gold choice pack, whatever. I had a dog hair in my mouth. I think I got it. And 5,000 stubs, whoopity doodah. new feature reveals. We'll learn more about that soon. Sign up for the Scouting Report Pack. Collector's Edition reveal February 6th. We're sure some of you are wondering, where's the Collector's Edition? Next week on February 6th, 2024, we'll reveal the Collector's Edition for MLB The Show 24 and all its content. Mark your calendars, gear up for an exciting reveal. Yeah, that's that. Very important to know, and something that we should be paying attention to tomorrow, or I guess today, the day you're listening to this, Wednesday, January 31st. At 5 p.m. Eastern Time, on Wednesday, January 31st, PlayStation is having a State of Play. I've never actually watched one of these State of Plays, because generally speaking, I don't care much about the content that's in them. I'll just watch trailers for games I want to play after the fact. But because they just dropped the cover, the day before State of Play, I would guess that there's going to be a passing mention of MLB The Show 24 in the State of Play. Not confirmed, to my knowledge. I honestly don't know, but it would make sense from a marketing standpoint in this 40-minute broadcast that includes all sorts of stuff of upcoming titles and whatnot that they'll mention MLB The Show. There's also a high likelihood they mention it, and it's all old information from today, or yesterday, the day I'm recording this. None of it's going to be new. There's a chance. But State of Play might give us some information, so just keep that in mind. Now we go to some stuff that's unfortunate. The MLB The Show 24, or the MLB The Show, theshow.com FAQ page has been updated with MLB The Show 24 questions and answers. A couple things to note. MLB The Show 24 will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. It is still available on old gen. And to me, more importantly, or more upsettingly, still available on Nintendo Switch. They never publicly said, ever, that they're moving on from old gen. Last year, it was never said. Really would have been nice, though. We're now on year 4 of MLB The Show on, can't even call it next gen anymore, it's current gen. PlayStation 5, Xbox XS. And it's still on old hardware. Now, for some of you who may be like, well, what if there are separate editions? There's a PlayStation 5, there's like a current gen edition, an old gen edition. Thuni has gotten confirmation. Thuni, friend of the show, shout out to Thuni. He was talking to Seabrev and others. Just got confirmation MLB The Show 24 will not be separate versions for new and old gen. So, there you go. It looks like the old gen versions are going to be digital only. Based on this, the standard edition disc version is available for PS5 and Xbox SX. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are digital only. I don't know what that means for the future. Maybe this will be the last year. Who knows? MLB The Show 24 will be available on Xbox Game Pass at launch. Huge for Xbox people. This one's not the most upsetting, but this one's pretty jarring to me. There will be no tech test, which I'm kind of shocked by. The tech test has been cool for building up hype. The tech test has been super cool for, obviously, the most important thing, figuring out the bugs before the game launches. That's kind of the whole point of the tech test, is for us to give feedback and identify issues in the code. There's a couple ways to look at this. We could be disappointed and nervous that the game is now going to be buggy, or we could have confidence and be like, you know what, the gameplay this year was pretty good. If they're just copy and pasting the code over, it should still be pretty good. And maybe they don't want to do a tech test because they're working on other bigger things. Maybe. I don't know. Trying to be optimistic here. But there will not be any sort of tech test, public or private. Nothing. Zero tech test. All consoles support crossplay, so that means you can still match up against Nintendo Switch people, which makes me sad. That's it from the FAQ. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt this absolutely incredible video that you're watching, but I have something very exciting to tell you, and it is that we have new merch available. It's been a little while since I've hyped up the merch, but like I said, I'm super excited about this. It shows off the new logo, some new designs, some new things that you guys might not have thought you would have wanted. So let's go look at it. As you can see here on my merch store, we have a discount running. If you use code KDJ10 now through the end of February, you're getting 10% off your entire order. So now is the best time to stock up on some new gear. We've got t-shirts. Stickers for sticking on things. Hoodies for if you live in chilly places and want to keep your nipples all sorts of warm. Notebooks if you enjoy writing things down. Of course, we still have the classic The Show the Podcast t-shirts. And lastly, my favorite piece of new merch, it is the embroidered firewood hoodie. This is stitched on. It is a piece of my logo that doesn't include kdjTV. It's just the bolt, it's just the bat. It looks crazy good, and it also appears on the left wrist. Come on now. So like I said, KDJ10 gets you 10% off now through the end of February, and the link to my merch store is always in the description. If you buy something, let me know. I'll blow you a kiss. All right, back to the content. So, we learned a lot, for sure. And, I mean, the cover's so cool, guys. Look at it. It looks so nice. I don't dislike Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I don't really think anybody should. He's a cool fella. I know he said he doesn't like the Yankees or something like that, but that's, you know, whatever. Not a big deal. I don't see why a cover is something anyone should get upset over. This does not impact how the game is going to be at all. I just clicked on the Collector's Edition button, and it didn't change. Okay, just wanted to see if I was missing something. Last year for the Collector's Edition, Derek Jeter appeared on late-night talk shows or late-night TV to talk about being on the cover. I have checked the late-night guest lineup for the next week or so, and it features no baseball players, from what I saw. Derek Jeter's probably just an outlier because he's Derek frickin' Jeter, and he has, like, national appeal outside of even the game. If he was on late-night TV in, like, July, I think people would care. So, that yielded no information that I hoped to yield. But important things to note, SDS did give us already a schedule for things to come in terms of announcements. On February 6th, as I said, the Collector's Edition will be revealed. That is also when we'll learn about early access, I guess. You don't get early access with the Standard Edition. They've only announced the Standard Edition, so it doesn't make sense to also announce early access if it's not available yet. So that's my thinking. There will be a feature premiere on February 15th, a feature premiere on February 22nd, a ratings reveal on March 7th, as well as a feature premiere on March 7th. The ratings reveal, I imagine, will be both for Diamond Dynasty ratings and offline mode ratings, because those are different. Some people don't realize that. And there will be a feature premiere on March 14th. The final feature premiere, which is one of the reasons I also think early access will be the 14th or 15th. Just a guess. There's also a developer tournament in there somewhere that I didn't care to write the date down, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to watch the developer tournament. So 1, 2, 3, 4 feature premieres, a ratings reveal which could glean some information, and a developer tournament. So 6, 7 opportunities outside of the Collector's Edition announcement to learn more about the game. That's 7 weeks away, roughly. We're going to learn more, guys. We're going to learn a lot more, and I'm excited to learn a lot more. In the meantime, relax. Don't, cause a riot because your favorite player's not on the cover. I understand why people can be upset because, they're passionate about their teams or their players or what have you. It's the cover of the game, guys. It doesn't impact a thing other than maybe how the game is marketed. That's it. That's really it. I wanted to talk about one more thing really quickly, and this just happened before I was recording. Nutsy, another friend of the show, said this: people need to remember that months go into picking the cover for MLB The Show. It's not like the developers woke up last week and were like, who do we pick? Before last year, Vlad was coming off back-to-back MVP caliber years, had been an All-Star, Gold Glove, and Silver Slugger. He's young, marketable, projects well. That's why he was picked. I quote tweeted it. Oops. Trying to find it. There we go. To echo Nutsy's points, marketing like this takes months. That was part of the reason I have been hesitant to just slam dunk Ronald Acuna onto the cover. It was a historic season, but it literally just finished. Listen. You guys know that I work in sports journalism, but a lot of my job now, because I work a lot on the editing side, is marketing. I am part of a marketing team. Marketing takes a long time for something like this. This isn't just like a one-off post. This is like the entire brand of SDS, or MLB The Show, for the next calendar year. This is the entire brand. They took months figuring this out. That is why I was always leaning into the J-Ram camp and then the Ozzy camp, because J-Ram and Ozzy had been around at the SDS offices last year. There were a lot of clues. Acuna had one of the most remarkable seasons in baseball history, without a friggin' doubt. Even halfway through the year, though, it was just another season. It was one that was projecting incredibly well, but like it wasn't. I don't know, maybe that's ignorant to say, but like, you know what I'm getting at? This was a decision that was made probably by June or July. That's my guess. And they'll pick the next cover probably by June or July, is my guess. And maybe that one will be Acuna. Might end up being a year too late, maybe. But maybe that one will be Acuna. Or J-Ram, or Adley, or Julio Rodriguez, or Ozzy Albies, or any other player that you would like to be on a cover. These decisions take an exceptional amount of time. Or not even so much the decision, the creative. The planning. How are they going to incorporate Vladdy in all these different things? I know Ramon said that the Dominican Republic video shoot they did only took a couple hours, but the planning of it, and the execution, and the editing of the documentary took time. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. This is also not me out here just shilling and defending SDS. I also would have liked to see J-Ram on the cover because I think he's so underappreciated. But it's just, this is how it is. This is how marketing works. I'm just letting everybody know. Some of you guys work in marketing. Maybe you could back me up. But guys, that is going to be it for an emergency episode of the show, the podcast. It's already been longer than I wanted it to be, but we had stuff to talk about, as one does. As always, this will be your source for every news update possible on MLB The Show. We won't always have podcasts on every single piece of news, but we will have YouTube content when it's relevant. So if you're just a listener, I love you. But come back to YouTube, subscribe. kdjTV 611 is the handle on YouTube. And don't miss out. Don't miss a thing. We're going to keep everybody updated with opinions and what's not, analysis and things like that. So thank you guys for listening. Congratulations, I guess, to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for being on the cover. And I am so excited because officially, as of the cover drop, MLB The Show 24 is basically here. So thank you guys. I love you guys. See you next time.